going to introduce LTE roaming as a wholesale carrier with Telenor Global Services, and we will introduce that after the summer, say around October. Starting off with some testing in September, and then we'll be ready pretty much like everyone else in October. So there are both technical and commercial challenges. The technical challenges is to get the technology in place, because we need to have, on the operator side, there needs to be equipment to facilitate that, which is called the diameter edge agent or diameter routing agent. That's the first thing that the mobile operators need to have in place to be technically ready. Second is for us as a carrier to have a diameter signaling service to facilitate the roaming. We talk about LTE roaming between the home network and the visited network. I think it's very good for the customers, because it means that it will be cheaper from mid of next year to roam with 2G and 3G services, but also with 4G services when that is being launched. For us being a carrier, it means that we will have to adopt to the mobile operators and a technical solution that they are going to have to support the new alternative roaming providers that we will see in the market. So it means a completely change with EU regulation, with new ARPs, alternative roaming providers, but also where we have something called local breakout. When you roam into a network, you can actually use the local interconnect, the local breakout in that network. It means that it will be much better for the roamers, the prices will drop, but it also means for us, from technical point of view, that we would have to support that technically and adapt to the amount of traffic that I think we can see. With the lower prices, better retail offers from the mobile operators, we will also see that the traffic will be growing in terms of the data traffic. And I think that will also take off once we see the 4G roaming being launched. Yeah, I think it's starting already as we're speaking here now, testing. It will be more tests between operators after the summer, but I think the real takeoff will be sometime beginning of next year, during 2014 and 2015. Because also with the EU regulation, I think it's a great idea from EU, but it's also a little bit hindering the operators. And why I'm saying that is because operators need to have big projects on their side where they need to dedicate resources and have a technical solutions to support what's actually being regulated by the EU. And that's going to take both time and be cost consuming for the operators. And at the same time, we have LTE launches around the world. It means that in Europe, many operators are trying to do both launching their LTE roaming network at the same time as they have the EU regulation to take into account. So I think it kind of interferes a little bit in timescales to do that. But it will be good once it has been both introduced. M2M, machine-to-machine communication, I think that is going to be a great opportunity with LTE. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we see that M2M is growing so rapidly. For example, we see in cars, we see different devices where the cars or other machines are communicating just by itself, because it has its device where it can send information. For example, if you take a new Volvo car, you have a device where if the car would be in an accident, it means that it would actually send an alarm with the information about how many people are in the car, if you're with your family, if there are a child in the back seat. It will actually tell all that relevant information. But also with LTE, we see that there are new services like video streaming, and so that we think it's important to have that. And that is something that will be facilitated by the LTE network. So I think it's going to be very important for LTE and M2M. And it's going to generate revenue, yes, because we see also new services and new opportunities. Some of those new services has been limited and hasn't been able to have that in the cars before. But now we see an opportunity in new cars, new offers with LTE as a solution and carrying those services. It has been a great seminar this year. I've been here for 3 days now. First day we had a focus on the signaling, which is important to see where the market is going. And there have been a lot of good speakers and on the different tracks talking about how sharing their experience, just like we have done, what is happening, what's going on in the market, and what we would have to do together, because it's about facilitating and helping each other to take it to the next step and continue to develop the LTE roam. So I think it's a great opportunity to come here, meet others, meet providers, meet partners, meet customers, and talk about and plan together for the future. So very interesting.